Today, we're joined by Mike Kramkowski of IBTs, the longtime owner who since 2004 has not only sustained but expanded the brand of one of Tucson's most enduring LGBTQ plus nightclub institutions. IBTs originally opened on 4th Avenue in 1985, and now Mike's bringing that same bold vision to new neighborhood expansions, including a highly anticipated Nathan's concept. So I'm excited to welcome Mike into the studio. I consider an old friend, not because you're old, but because we actually go way back.
Way back.
But we don't want to talk about that. No one wants to hear about 1997. But welcome in. So we're here to talk about 4th Avenue and really kind of an evolution of your impact on there. So let's kind of start at the beginning. IBTs.
Yes.
That is your place?
Correct. I bought that in 2004.
2004, so just a little bit ago. So just kind of getting used to what's going on there.
Brand new into it.
But can you tell us a little bit about it? It's got a special, it's a very special place in Tucson. It's been operating for, you bought it, so it's been going on. Like, you have an anniversary coming up, actually, don't you?
Yes. So in November is the 40-year anniversary. It opened in November of 1985.
Okay.
Their grand opening was November 16th, actually.
Okay. So some festivities planned?
Working on it, still trying to work out all the details. So it's a lot to do.
And then what kind of led you to want to get involved with it and buy it? Because you've owned it since 2004, so you've had it for a while.
A long time now, yeah.
And
career already.
I use the word old, but you're actually a young man. So you were fairly young when you bought this.
I was 29 when I bought it. So yes, how I got into it was, I always wanted to own my own business. I thought it was going to be more on the restaurant side.
Okay.
And someone told me that they were looking at selling the bar in the next 5 years. And I had a couple partners at the time, and we kind of came up with a plan and sat down with the owners and came to an agreement within a couple of months. And it moved fast, just taking it over. So
what was it about? What was it about this particular spot? What was it?
Yeah, so IBT's was always special to me. It was a place that I went to when I was younger. I had been going there for years before I bought the bar. And so it was always a comfortable place, a place where you can feel at home, be yourself, and a fun place, a place to go and meet people and dance and, kind of just let yourself kind of relax for a little while.
Yeah, I remember early on, and I went to Tucson in '93, and it was not too long after that, I was introduced to IBTs for, there was a drag show.
Yes.
And I went down for that, and, this was really sort of my first experience with that, and I didn't know what to expect, and I had all kinds of preconceived notions of what I might see and might be a part of, and it was just so dang fun. Like, everybody was just having a blast.
That's the idea. What we try to do is we make it to where we are trying to throw a party 365 days a year.
Okay.
So it is a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And we try to make it fun for our guests that come in and our customers that come in to have, a good time and relax and, be able to let off some steam.
And the Pride Parade, is that still, it was kind of connected, started or ended with you? Is that still a thing?
No, not anymore. When the streetcar did open, it pulled a lot of stuff off of 4th Avenue that used to be there. So, the Pride Parade used to go down 4th Avenue. That kind of ended with the start of the construction of that. They did it, I think, one time. It's just too expensive to close down the street.
Yeah.
But it's, we still try to be a part of Pride as much as possible. We kind of do our own party on Pride after Tucson does their Pride on both those nights and stuff like that. So.
Okay. And then this is what I remember about you. You are, I'm just going to say this. You're a man of little words. You don't talk a whole lot, but everything you say is very specific.
Very.
And very intentional, I should say.
Yes, I'm very, you can see it in my face though.
Yeah. Well, yes. Never play poker with Mike. That's what I remember. This is Mike when he's happy. This is Mike when he's sad. But I guess the point being, it kind of strikes me as sort of counterintuitive that this festive environment, right? This does not strike me as your personality, like it more like matter of fact. So it was interesting to me that this was something you chose to do.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not the person who is, leading the party. I'm the person behind the scenes, kind of making sure the parties happen.
Gotcha.
So, it's not about me partying. It's about, and it's about the customers coming in and being able to party and have a good time. So my job, I have a job, right? It's a job that I do and I take very seriously. And, it's to make sure that everybody's safe and has a good time. And so.
And then I think where the thought process comes through, and I'm like, okay, now it starts to make sense to me as I've seen what you've done with that block. Mm-hmm. Right? You started with the bar.
Yes.
And it's kind of morphed.
It is morphing, right? Slowly. We're working on it. But yeah, we have more projects coming and we're going to keep, hopefully growing IBTs is the next phase after we are finished with the project that we are working on now, which is the Nathan's Famous and the Blind Tiger.
Okay. Well, so first of all, the Nathan's Famous, I thought that was like a Spirit Halloween kind of joke because that sign went up and I was like, okay, there's not going to be a Nathan's Famous.
It feels like that to me a lot too, because it's taken so long and been a lot of problems. And it's been delayed and pushed back and, and a lot of frustration that happens within construction, and especially dealing with a very old building. So it's been a lot of rework in that building.
Okay. Is it like a historical designation or is it just an older building?
So that is not a historic building. It's an historic district.
Okay.
So we have to manage it because it's in the historic district.
Is there any sort of updated timeline on Nathan's Famous?
So we are right now looking for the beginning of November to the middle of November.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Oh my gosh. So that could be a good celebration for your 40th.
Yes, for sure.
Here we go. We're done.
Exactly.
We're done. 40th and 1st at the same time.
Absolutely.
This is, I'm just assuming is it a franchise of the?
So yes, I purchased the franchise to be able to do in the front part of that building. So it'll be Nathan's Famous in the front, and then we have a kitchen that we built out, and then in the back will be the Blind Tiger, which is like a speakeasy, has a small little shareable menu also that I'm working on too.
Okay, so there'll be a kitchen involved with that as well.
Correct.
Okay, so then is this all connected on the inside, or is it all going to be connected on the outside? Like, how do you get? Because you've got IBTs right in the front piece of that, correct? The
IBTs will be. It's actually 2 doors south of that.
Okay.
So it'll be. Those properties is 628 North 4th Avenue. So right across from the streetcar right there.
And are they connected? Are they connected through?
They will not be.
Okay.
So IBTs will be connected only through a patio that will have access through it.
Okay. So then it'd still be separate entrances on 4th Avenue, but there will be some kind of connection. And it's Blind Tiger. I don't know much. That's a name that's new to me. So it's Blind Tiger?
The Blind Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Blind Tiger is, history of, you hear them often of the Blind Tiger or Blind Pig, which were kind of like hidden speakeasy bars during Prohibition time period.
All right.
So it's a concept that we had a while ago, but we never had it designed the way I truly wanted it designed. And so when we were able to take over the property, purchase the property in 2020, I was actually able to then put together a plan to actually implement a true Blind Tiger. And that is, it will be a door in the back that you actually have to enter Nathan's, and then there'll be a door somewhere in the back for you to access the.
All right, so there won't be street access. It really is a speakeasy. You have to go in and. You're gonna have to find. Is the door? Are you gonna have to find the door?
No, I mean, it's not too hidden. I mean, it's not a big space, so it's not like you're going to get lost in there. But
is there going to be like secret codes and stuff, like knocks and things?
Probably not. It's more of, we want people to come in and have a good time, and just more of the environment that we're creating than it is of the secretness of it.
Okay. And then now during this, there's been a lot of construction going on, but IBTs is still operating. It's still functional. You can still get in there.
Yes.
But when everything is sort of officially opening, we're still going to see the same sort of vibe at IBTs.
IBTs is the one thing we're going to finally get back at IBTs is part of that construction has been closing our kitchen.
Yeah.
And so the one thing we're finally going to get back is our food back at IBTs that we haven't had for a year and a half. So it's been a struggle of, not having that available to our customers.
Well, I would imagine, and probably not the forum to go into the details, but I mean, that's going to be challenging for you, and a portion of your business is just sort of.
Oh yeah, that's a huge impact of revenue that gets taken out.
Okay,
for sure.
So, but is that going to be opening up in hopefully November?
Yes, so that'll be coming right along after that, and then the Blind Tiger will be. Right now, our scheduled date is the beginning of December, right before Street Fair, a week prior to Street Fair.
That seems pretty appropriate. That might get a nice influx of people in there. Yeah. And then going forward, IBTs has really been focused on, well, not focused, but there's been a lot of celebration, especially Pride Month, when we talked about that. With these other concepts, do you see other, are we going to see like a July 4th hot dog eating contest or something? Or?
Well, Nathan's likes to keep that special for Coney Island. So that is definitely a Nathan's Coney Island thing. So we probably won't be doing hot dog eating contests, but we'll, summertime's always a challenging time for, for Tucson. But,
so you can't, that's your agreement? Is like
no, I don't think I have a rule with it. I've never gone into details with them of whether or not we could do it or not. I just know how much work with talking to a lot of the people within the corporate office of how much work something like that is to actually put together. It is probably a 2 months of most of the corporation just focusing on that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But okay, so there goes that. Okay. I thought for sure I had a new calling. I was going to get in there, and
you definitely have hot dogs, but it might not be. It might not be to where you get to do that contest.
All right, and you could do a contest. You just have to buy all your hot dogs yourself.
Exactly, create your own contest.
There you go. Yeah, I would imagine if it was a self-paid. All you can eat. All you can eat. Feel free.
Exactly.
We'll keep making more, but you're going to be paying
for them for sure.
No, was it Joey?
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut that coming out. And that whole thing. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but that whole thing makes no sense. Like the idea of it makes sense to me, but then the way it's become a competition and all these creative, these food competitions, and the way people creatively eat food now,
it's crazy for sure.
Anyway, I'm excited about Nathan's. I'm a hot dog guy, and there are some good hot dogs in Tucson, and I think this is a classic that really sort of adds to that sort of, excuse the pun, but that flavor of hot dogs in Tucson. And there is no others. I mean, there's
no. So a lot of, from what I understand, there was a while ago that was in the Park Place Mall, but a lot of them closed up that they had during COVID. So they are kind of like in the rebuild of franchises again. So,
well, it'd be nice to have that. I'm excited about the tie-in with the 40th, and are we going to see celebrations, or are you?
Oh yeah, I mean, we are working on special shows. We definitely want to work with some of the charity organizations to also make it to where we can create some cohesiveness to work together with them, so where they can also raise funds for charity at the same time of us just throwing a party. So it's we want to do it as a dual thing of not just celebrating IBTs, but also celebrating, and doing other stuff to get back to the community. Okay. So,
and then the footprint of what you're doing. So I just want to make sure that I think I understand this. So IBTs, I mean, you're not taking space away from IBTs. You've expanded, like you're buying more properties, and
we are expanding. And we will, so this is a separate property than where IBT's is. But the plan is that to eventually expand IBT's, that we have property that is to the north of IBT's, that is part of all the building that IBT's is currently in. So that was originally a Jostler building. So we found out during this process that it's an actual historic building. So we're going to have to struggle with how do we stay with, keeping it into historic and be able to bring it current at the same time.
The IBT's building is the Jostler building. Okay, yes. But the ones the Blind Tiger and Nathan's are not. Okay, but they're in the district, so you have to deal with the district requirements as well. Okay.
Yes. So the plan is that eventually to grow IBT's of having its own kitchen, its own other area, a loungy area more, and expand it that way into the patio also. So.
Okay. But for now, I mean, you get to get your kitchen back in November.
Correct.
So those that have been used to the menu at IBT's will get that back.
Finally get it back. Yes.
You can then mosey on down and get a little snack.
Yes.
And then if you know the secret code and the knock,
You can get into
you can
the
get
Blind
the
Tiger.
Blind Tiger and have a little smaller sample menu. And
Yep.
is it going to be is there going to be a specialty like cocktails or
So yes, so I mean, what we are doing is we are going to bring back just some classic, well-made cocktails, and then also do a modern twist on those type of cocktails.
Nice,
Yep.
nice. Man, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up, but I have to because I think it's for context. I think back to when you first got into the restaurant business, and you had the mentorship of a fairly new and young manager in the restaurant world. I can't remember his name. I think it was me.
I think it might have been.
And then as we were talking, I was telling James that I think that you're successful because of my tutelage. And it turns out that maybe you're successful in spite of my tutelage. So
you never know. No, I mean, I learned a lot from you, Tom. And the best thing also was, I don't know I know that you were kind of leaving St. Louis, and I came out to St. Louis when they were.
I forgot about St. Louis. That's all. We're going to talk about St. Louis on this.
So, I learned a lot from you from that, walking into that, and what you kind of given me into the insight of what I was about to deal with. And
I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, I did I improved it. It's not like I ran into it.
But yes,
I learned a lot from you about what I walked into, Tom. Come on now. Yeah, oh my gosh, St. Louis.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different episode, James. We gotta prep for that on a different day. I'm excited to see the growth. It's nice. I'm kind of surprised it took us this long to have you on the show because you really have that there's a lot of impact on Fourth Avenue in different areas, and clearly sort of towards that north end, you are the driving force of sort of keeping that alive. There's a lot around you, yes, but you certainly are that cohesiveness that 1985. People have been coming there for a reason for a while.
Yes, for sure. I mean, Fourth Avenue has gone through its ups and downs, and it's how it's doing is I think it struggles compared to a little bit of what's happening in other parts of the city because we don't get the revenue, that other businesses are getting downtown. And
it's not a part of the Rio Nuevo district.
So we and so there's a lot of closing shops for some people. And so I think it's important that if I have the ability and keep going and doing what we're doing of growing and keeping Fourth Avenue alive and growing in a manner that it's not just what it was, from in 1970, that it has to become relevant to the current age that we are in also. So.
And I guess that, I kind of thought I was wrapping up, but I guess the question about Nathan's Famous and the brand, that's Fourth Avenue sort of has a more bohemian, sort of family-owned or locally owned vibe, and this franchise, I don't want to say it sticks out, but it's a little bit different than what's
definitely. I mean, but it's definitely something new of bringing a franchise into Fourth Avenue. There's pretty much only one on the Dairy Queen. Yes.
Yeah, and they do well, and they fit in, and I think that's.
But part of what we chose is we brought an old brand, right, that's been around, since the early 1900s. Something that we thought would fit well for the style of the avenue. Mm-hmm. What it can do for street fare. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of and it's also not I think the way that the building and the business is all going to be designed, that it's not about the franchise. It's still locally owned, and it's still it's something that adds to the avenue.
I think that's the key component. I look at like other places too, where you can develop, and that's a name brand that people are not familiar with. Fourth Avenue will be familiar with that name if they're coming to town, and that's going to bring them down.
Right.
And then to have this sort of iconic brand, it seems very, in my mind, I'm not quite sure why, but it seems very natural that even though it's a franchise, that leads into a local speakeasy, right?
Correct.
It's almost it's very
and working with Nathan's to get that done, and them being supportive of a
that was
concept
my
like
next
that.
question is how do they feel about that?
They've liked the concept of everything I showed them, and and what we were presenting. So it's good for I think it's good for Fourth Avenue of what's coming. So.
It could be a model of how you sort of integrate larger brands without losing your individual identity as a 100%. Community too. So that's really, really well done. Well, Mike, I appreciate it. We're going to have you back and talk more about some of the events that come up next year and things like that. Cause once we get this chatterbox talking, we can't get him to stop.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
Appreciate it, Tom.